Hello everyone, I'm Symone Stanley bringing you guys another great edition of the HBCU NFL Report, where we provide you guys an update on some of your favorite black college football stars in the pros. So it's been about a week of the 2021 NFL training camp and things are looking pretty interesting and things are looking up for some of our favorite HBCU stars that's now moved on to the professional level. So we're going to check in and see how some of these guys are doing with about a month to go until week 1 of the NFL season. So let's start with Trenton Cannon. So Trenton Cannon has been taking snaps at the wide receiver position. Yes, the wide receiver position for the Carolina Panthers. Now, Trenton started his professional career with the New York Jets in 2018, and he's entering his 4th season in the NFL after moving on and shining at Virginia State University. So Trenton has always been a running back, okay? He spent his first 2 seasons with the Jets. Then last season he signed with the Panthers, so he's about to start his 2nd season with the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Panthers were without their star running back Christian McCaffrey last season, and even without Christian McCaffrey in the rotation, Trenton still didn't see that many snaps at the running back position. He spent most of his time last season with the Panthers on special teams. Now, this season, and last season he only had 10 carries at running back in 14 games. Only 10 carries in 14 games because he spent most of his time in the special teams unit. So with this season, with Christian McCaffrey coming back, and Christian McCaffrey is like the superstar of the Carolina Panthers, like the sole source of their offense and any of their success, runs through literally Christian McCaffrey's thighs. Now they drafted Chuba Hubbard. So Chuba Hubbard is coming in, Christian McCaffrey's coming back, so the snaps are going to be looking even more limited for Trenton at the running back room because they have Christian McCaffrey, who's going to be their workhorse. Then they have that change of pace back, which is looking like going to be Chuba Hubbard. So the fact that they are giving Trenton snaps at the wide receiver position, and not only giving him snaps, they're saying he's looking good, is really promising for Trenton's future because he's just showing more of his versatility with the Panthers. And like I said, this is only his 4th season. He has some of his best football days ahead of him. And it's really interesting to see them using him at the wide receiver position. We know Trenton, when he was with Virginia State, was known for being a pass catcher in the backfield. And the fact that the Panthers are using his strengths, his versatility, is great to see, especially with the running back room looking crowded. They're not just not giving him any role, they're creating a new role for him, a more hybrid role, and that's very interesting. So we're going to see how that develops. It's still early in training camp, but we're going to keep our eye on Trenton Cannon playing some wide receiver. Now let's look at Danny Johnson. Danny Johnson, former Southern University Jaguar, is entering his 4th season in the NFL and his 4th season with the Washington football team. He has been sticking with the Washington football team his entire professional career, and the Washington football team has had him primarily playing on special teams, but that might look to change this season because Danny Johnson has been lining up in the slot at training camp, and this is early in training camp too. So we could see Danny Johnson having more of a defined and more of an important role in the Washington football team's defense, not only just showing up on special teams, but playing on defense as well in the slot corner. He had a walk-off interception to end training camp last week, and the guys all mobbed him and jumped on him and did their go bro, you lit bro, yeah, you was good type thing. You know how those guys do, pumping each other up. So that's a great way for Danny to end practice, and Danny has been working out with the number 1 groups so far at training camp, so he is getting reps against some of the Washington football team's best and the Washington football team starters. So that's really, really, really intriguing to see. The Washington football team lost one of their corners, Ronald Darby, last season to free agency. He's now with the Denver Broncos. So there is room in that cornerback room for the Washington football team for Danny Johnson to rise, especially since the Washington football team has one of the best defensive lines in the league behind Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Having that defensive front is really going to take the pressure off the secondary, where Danny Johnson is lining up right now at training camp, and we can look for him to make some more explosive plays like we saw at training camp. So we're going to keep our eyes locked on Danny this season and see, is he going to get some more time to play in the slot and not just on special teams? Mack McCain, his first NFL training camp is with the Denver Broncos. He signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Broncos after the 2021 NFL draft. The former Aggie has been balling out, according to Broncos beat writers. He has been balling out at training camp. They said he's looking great in coverage, and one of the most well-respected Broncos beat writer even named Mack McCain as the Rookie of the Day on July 28th. The most interesting thing to me about Mack McCain and during his time with the Broncos training camp, and like I said, it's still early, is that he has been getting reps against Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton was injured last year, but before then, he was the man for the Broncos. He was one of the Broncos' most productive wide receivers, a star in Denver, if you will. And Mack is already getting reps against Courtland Sutton. That is very promising for a young corner, an undrafted corner, coming into training camp early, already getting reps against the best of the best. Sharpening that iron, as you would say. Sharpening Mack's iron. You know, they say iron sharpens iron. So he's already getting reps against the best, and they're saying he's looking good. A lot of things I see say he has been having a lot of tight coverage on Courtland Sutton, and he's been looking great in coverage. That's what people have been saying. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no news to us, but it's some news to some people. I see a lot of Broncos fans like, let's keep our eye on Mack McCain. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing new. He's been doing this. So the Broncos head coach had some things to say about Mack last week. He said Mack's a guy who's got limited college background and what he's been exposed to from a football standpoint. He's learning. He's got a long way to go to be a regular player in this league, but we like his potential. It's all about that potential. It's all about the potential, and they're giving him opportunity to show it. Like I said, getting reps against the top guy, one of the top guys in the Broncos offense, is very promising. So Mack did miss the last 2 days of training camp at the point that this video is recorded. He missed the last 2 days of training camp in the first week of August with a hamstring injury. Nothing serious. I know some of you guys, like fans, I even do this. You know, you get scared when a guy gets injured, but it's first week of training camp. These guys haven't played football in months. They're gonna get dinged up. Stuff is gonna get pulled. They haven't been playing this high level of activity for months. You know, guys are excited, you know. So that happens. Everybody gets dinged up at training camp. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. And the Broncos already reported it's nothing serious. But on the injury front, we got to talk about Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen, Chicago Bear, former Aggie as well. He has spent the last 11 months sidelined with an ACL injury, and it looks like he's going to miss a few more weeks, at least, with this injury that was reported by the Chicago Bears. He hasn't been able to work out with the Chicago Bears. Obviously, he's battled a lot physically. He's battled a lot mentally as well after he had to mourn the passing of his brother recently. So he has a lot on his plate, and football might not be on the forefront of his mind. But I know a lot of you guys are super excited to see what Tariq Cohen can do this season with the Chicago Bears. Tariq is entering his 5th season with the Bears, and the Bears are returning to their running back room. David Montgomery, he rushed for over 1,000 yards last season with the Bears. They drafted a running back, Khalil Herbert, and they also signed a veteran running back, Damian Williams, during free agency. So it's going to be interesting to see how, when Tariq does come back, how that running back rotation is looking after training camp, and how immediately or how long it takes for them to plug Tariq back into the rotation. So we got to keep a strong eye out for the Bears training camp, especially how they're handling Tariq Cohen's injury, and we don't want to see him getting too far behind with what the Bears have going on their offense. So we'll keep an eye out. Things are still looking up. He's still walking around camp, motivating guys, still there on the sideline, not just sitting around, walking around, talking to coaches, mingling, if you will. So things are looking positive there. But all in all, mostly great news here on the NFL, HBCU NFL report. Like I said, this is through week 1 of camp. It's a lot more exciting stuff to keep an eye on. We're about 1 month away from the NFL kickoff, and we're super excited to see what our HBCU stars are going to do this season. So make sure you guys like this video. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification bell on as well so you won't miss a single HBCU NFL report. You won't miss a single video that we drop here on this channel. So make sure you guys are staying tapped in, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!